Some of the men in Nixon's administration charged with plugging press leaks were known as a result as the White House Plumbers. Let's talk about the HBO series of the same name. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the HBO miniseries White House Plumbers. You can check this out now on Max. It is 5 episodes long, and you can stream it all right there. And it has to do with some of the men behind the scenes at the Nixon Watergate scandal. And this is featuring a whole host of famous names and faces. We'll get into all of it here in just a moment. But first, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel, and just about every day I try to post something new. So always a lot to check out. Please consider subscribing below. Hit that notification bell. Like this video. Comment below. All that stuff does help the channel out, of course, and I appreciate it. All right, so White House Plumbers. Woody Harrelson stars as E. Howard Hunt, who is a CIA officer in this, part of the so-called White House Plumbers. He was tasked with identifying the sources of these security leaks following the Pentagon paper publishing in the early 70s. And then Justin Theroux plays G. Gordon Liddy, who was a White House lawyer at the time, working alongside Hunt to direct the burglary of the Watergate building. So, look, I was born in the late 70s, so this happened, before my time, but through history class, through certain movies and TV shows, I've learned enough, about the Watergate era and the scandal and what kind of happened, but I certainly didn't know. Well, I had heard of G. Gordon Liddy. I knew who that was, but I didn't really know about the White House Plumbers and that whole thing. So this was, kind of interesting for me to see more behind the scenes rather than, okay, here's Nixon, directing people and doing X, Y, and Z. No, these guys are the focal point of this. But we also have Lena Headey as Dorothy Hunt, who's Howard's wife. We have Judy Greer as Fran Liddy, who was G. Gordon's wife. And also you have Domhnall Gleeson as another attorney who served at Nixon's White House. Gary Cole is here. Toby Huss. Ike Barinholtz. Kathleen Turner appears briefly. F. Murray Abraham. David Krumholtz. Kiernan Shipka. Look, HBO always pulls out all the stops with their, really big productions. They want to have everybody in this be somebody that person's in this. And there's a bunch of, smaller roles played by other people too, more character actors. But there's a lot of famous names in here. And even Robert Redford, who was, one of the stars of All the President's Men back in the day, all about the Watergate scandal. He appears as a voiceover over the phone in this. I think reprising the same role he did in All the President's Men, if I'm remembering that correctly. So look, obviously a lot of care was taken with this to sort of bring everything full circle, kind of from All the President's Men. And as an example, I heard an interview with one of the producers that said when Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux are in the same scene together, they're almost always in the same shot. So the audience kind of thinks of them as sort of one person, one mind. And he said that was something that All the President's Men, the movie, did with Redford and Hoffman way back in the day. And it's not something I picked up on either while watching the movie or watching this show. But, maybe subconsciously, I don't know, there was something there. But so obviously there was a lot of care by the producers in sort of, making this not as authentic as possible. I don't want to say that because it is a bit satirical. There's some comedic elements to it where everybody is a little bit exaggerated, I think, from maybe what really was or who the players were or whatever. But I think a lot of care was taken to make this a quality miniseries. And I did watch all 5 episodes of this. I'm sort of catching up on some of my earlier shows from the year, but I didn't have HBO Max for several months, and then there was a Black Friday sale, so I'm catching up now on some of the earlier HBO stuff from the year. But I figured this is one kind of to tackle before the year's end, because it was getting some pretty good press. But also Henry Kissinger, who was definitely around the Nixon era in politics, just passed away like a week ago. So I thought, all right, now's maybe a good time to tackle this White House House Plumbers. Woody Harrelson and Theroux have never worked together before this, which is surprising to me. First of all, because they sort of run in similar circles, but also they just are naturals together on camera. You really do kind of get the vibe that these guys became sort of best friends. This is a little bit of like a bromance story at its core, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, they're not, like in love with each other, like in a gay way or anything, but this is certainly, these guys really were in tune with each other, and as such, Harrelson and Theroux just kind of nailed that chemistry that perhaps these guys really did have. So this is listed as a satirical historical drama. So yes, there are historical elements to it, but like I said, a lot of it is a bit exaggerated, a bit funny. It reminded me a little bit of like some of the Adam McKay stuff, which I don't necessarily love, but one of the best things I think in recent years that Adam McKay did was Vice, which was the movie about Dick Cheney, and I think there's some shades of that here as well. Everybody's a little bit exaggerated, but really nailing the roles. I didn't really learn anything new except for that these guys, the White House Plumbers, kind of existed. But in terms of like the Watergate scandal itself, I'm not sure that this is going to be like a history lesson for people. But like I said, it's a big cast of kind of who's who, which HBO loves to do. And this is pretty engaging, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. So often, and if you watch my channel enough, you'll hear me say this about a lot of different miniseries, is that just the recent HBO one I did, Love and Death, about Candy Montgomery, I think that was like maybe an episode too long. I think it's okay to have these shorter series. When I was a kid and a network ran a miniseries, it would usually be 2 nights, and it would be 2 hours each night with commercials, so maybe about 3 hours, 3.5 hours of total programming. And this is, about 4:45 or whatever if you watch it back to back. And I think that's kind of a sweet spot for a lot of things. We don't need to have 10-episode, 8-episode shows for a lot of things. I think this is a perfect sweet spot. This story is told in full. I wasn't longing for more, but it kept moving, so I also was never necessarily bored with it. Only the last episode really is devoted to the trial, so they sort of whisked us through that, which I think is something Love and Death maybe could have done. So overall, this was fairly enjoyable. Again, not necessarily for a historical document, but for maybe kind of a send-up of events of the time. I leave White House Plumbers with a B. And you can check that out. All 5 episodes now are streaming on Max. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.